Hi, my name is Zoe, and this is my dog Miso. A year ago, I decided to move to the countryside of Japan to pursue my dream of becoming a full-time artist. Here are snippets of my day-to-day life. I hope you enjoy. I am right on the tail end of a cold right now, so that is why my voice sounds a bit silly. But anyway, I just kind of decided that it would be good for me to get my body just kind of moving and doing some easy tasks. So I ended up knotting together the rest of this fabric, and now I've just woven it. So I have enough for the cake piece, which is this piece here. So it does kind of wrap around here a little bit, but there is enough fabric for that. I did also decide that I want to make some more fabric in the super loopy crazy way. So I'm actually thinking to just continue from here and using this really delicious, awesome recycled soury thread to just continue on, because if I cut it, it's just gonna make it a bit more tricky. So why not get 2 hats for the effort of one, and we'll just keep on weaving until this loom is finished. And yeah, I reckon probably in an hour or so it should be done, considering this one is a lot easier because I don't have to knot it together. So I'm just gonna get straight into that and see how we go. So we'll tune back in soon. So here is the fabric that I finished weaving this week. I finished making the pattern for this hat like 2 weeks ago, then I got a cold, so I was just kind of out with a fever last weekend, which was not very fun. But once I got over the fever, I started doing little preparations towards making this fabric. And I pretty much finished weaving it on about Wednesday this week. It is currently Saturday, but yeah, you'll see that this super colorful one that you're looking at here right now, you can actually see just kind of like around here that there's all these kind of like loops that are popping up. So this one is quite a loose weave. I wanted to make it so that some of these loops popped out and kind of showed off the color a bit more, because they do disappear a little bit in the white. So this fabric here, this is the broken weave fabric, and let me tell you, this really is a labor of love. I use all of these little fabric scraps that you can see here at the bottom, all these little threads, and I painstakingly hand knot them together to make this tiny little piece of, I think it was 1.6 meters of fabric, which is super narrow, like it's about 14 centimeters wide. It took me 2 hours just to knot together the threads to then start weaving, and that's not include setting up the warp thread and weaving it. So I think in total, without the warp thread included, this fabric probably took me about 3 to 4 hours to make. But you can see like those details are just absolutely gorgeous. All of these broken threads, and you know, I actually discovered this weaving technique by accident. Well, not really accident, just because being a rebel without a cause, I guess. I was always called that in high school by my teachers, and when I was learning to thread, so these threads along this way, this is called the warp thread, and basically where I did the course, they told me not to cut them, and that just don't cut them. But for me, being a very like mercurial person, I was like, why do I not cut them? And they kind of didn't really give me a very good answer. So as soon as I got home from my course, one of the first things I did was cut them all, and just, I want to see what happens. Like, why can't I? I need to understand properly enough for me before I can follow a rule, if that makes sense. So in that process, when I cut them, I ended up getting these beautiful kind of irregularities in the fabric, and that is how the broken weave was born. And then after that, I discovered that I could actually recycle all of the little scraps that don't get used. So it's kind of like two birds, one stone really, isn't it? Or I should say, you can feed two birds in one hand is a different way. I heard of that nuance the other day. I thought, oh, that's a bit nicer. But yeah, so that is how the broken thread was born. And also I just thought it's very like wabi-sabi in the sense, like if you've ever heard of kinsugi, where they repair broken ceramics with gold and make them more beautiful than they originally were. Well, this is kind of the same idea. You take something broken and you make it more beautiful and more valuable as you repair it. And I thought it's just such a good metaphor for life, for people with trauma. You know, a lot of people think that once you're a trauma person, you're broken and you're done, but that's not it. You can always heal. You can always re-emerge like a phoenix rising from the ashes and become an even better, more awesome person. You just have to face whatever you're facing and, you know, evolve from it. So that is kind of like the ethos behind this broken thread story and why it was born. As somebody that spent the last 10 years dealing with all of their trauma, I just thought, you know what? I came out better off, so surely a fabric can do the same thing. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Let's start cutting up this fabric and getting this hat into a hat shape. So this is all of my fabric that I've made. You can see on the bottom here, I've got my pieces for the crown and the brim in this narrow piece that I had left with the warp thread. And then I've got this larger bit here, which will be for the cape. So you can see I've literally only woven enough just to fit that piece. And it looks like it's shrunk a little bit, but we should be right. I can just resize it if I want to keep it straight, or it will fit like that pretty well. So I might even just pop it on the bias like so. And then in the back here, I just wove whatever I had left in this colourful thread, and I made it a bit like loopy and textural. So it's kind of like the broken thread without having to cut it or break it when you're doing that. So it's a lot less time consuming. I mean, it's still time consuming because it's weaving, but a lot less time consuming than tying all the threads together individually. So I'm gonna see if I have enough to make a hat left on this one. So I mean, I could easily fit that there, but it's just a matter of, will I fit the other pieces? So one brim could actually fit in there, so that's quite good. So I could get that. It's just a matter if I can get 6 of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna separate these two. I'm going to just sew along the edges of all of them to secure it, so it doesn't unravel anymore, like I've done with this one here, just until I cut out the lining. And then because this is so, like, it will just fall apart when I cut it out because it's quite loosely woven and there's nothing securing it. So the way around this is that if I cut the lining pieces out and then sew along the edge of them, that will act as the template. And then once the edge is sewed along, I can just cut them with the scissors and it won't unravel at all. And then I can put it together like that. So that is kind of the plan of attack. And I'm really excited because both of these pieces can have the brim. This fabric did shrink quite a bit, so I'm a bit sad about that because I was gonna keep it like that, but it's about, I don't know, let's say that's about 1 centimetre. Yeah, it's about 1 centimetre too narrow, but I can fit it on the bias here, which is lucky. If it doesn't fit into like the centimetre seam allowance, that's not too much of a problem. But I just kind of, I wanted to keep it so that the line would be nice, but it could potentially be better on the bias because it will stretch and kind of shape over the shoulders better. So potentially it's meant to be on the bias for this piece. Anyway, I'm going to stop yapping and we're going to get into cutting this. I started cutting out the lining and forgot that I needed to add a centimetre to here. It was just a little bit short when I checked the pattern. So that is why you should never say, yeah, I'll just draw it on later, and just do it exactly as you discover it. Luckily, I cut it from this way and it was savable. I just stopped cutting halfway through, but oh, thank God I remembered once I was halfway through cutting this, because it's been about 2 weeks now, so not fresh in my brain. Anyway, a lesson learned. I knew something ominous was going to happen as soon as I delayed that. Have the final result of the hat. Oh my god, it looks so good. Yesterday I was so tired and my hair just looked awful, so I couldn't tell if the hat was like nice or not, just because I was hating on my hair too much. But look at this, the broken weave. It feels so nice. I was a bit concerned about this brim yesterday. If I was going to make it again, I wouldn't put the quilting on both sides. I would just put it on the top layer. So yeah, I was just a little bit like weird about the shape, because it did get a bit thick and chunky here, even though I bagged it out, and then I also like trimmed the seam back to like 3 millimeters, just past where it was sewn. But now that I look at it, it actually looks so good. I love this little, what do you call it, elastic band. I always say gom and then I say gum in my head because I'm thinking in Japanese but speaking English. But you can adjust the size here. Obviously though, can't make it bigger than it actually is. So, I mean, the hat actually turned out a little bit bigger than my head. So Like for instance, it's probably about 3 to 4 centimeters wider than my head. So having this here is just a bit of extra support for in case there's like wind, because I made this hat for when I work in the rice field later this year, because yeah, I'm doing tambo, tambo and hatake. So this hat is tambo and hatake yo. So for the rice field and the veggie fields, yeah, just protect my neck. I did get burnt on the back of my neck, and I had a similar hat, but yeah, it was like one of those like ones you see in the K-dramas. So I just wanted to make something a bit more cool. And I just thought, like, recently I rewatched the Margiela series that Bliss Foster made like 4 or 5 years ago. And yeah, I think just white is really cool. The same reason that Margiela liked white as well is that it shows life, so it's not going to stay white. So for example, if I wear this for one season when I'm doing the rice field, it's probably going to get covered in dirt and stuff, and a lot of it won't be able to wash out, but I want those kind of colors and effects, because it's like it's becoming, the hat is becoming me and becoming my personality, and my energy is like enmeshing with it more, and it's going to make it look like really cool. I'm still undecided if I want to do anything with the top. Unfortunately, there's just one tiny part of the hat that didn't match up. So, but I almost think it looks better just being like this floppy kind of like craziness. This is it the wrong way out, and I'm kind of wishing that I just didn't put the hand weave on that side, because then I could have done it reversible and it would have probably looked pretty groovy if I did it like this. So it's almost like, wow, should I just redo this brim? I actually think it sits better this way. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm happy that the brim is sitting better in my head. Sometimes, like, this is what happened to me when I went to art school, and I would draw these like oil paintings, and then I would be like, oh, it's awful, it's crap. And then like half a year later, it was like my favorite painting. So sometimes you just need to like sleep on it before you try it on and touch it and look at it, sometimes even a week or two. So yeah, the hat yesterday I finished it, but I was just a bit like, I was being too self-critical about it. Another thing that happened, so even though all the notches and stuff matched up, this side here just has slightly wider gap than here. So, but I mean, it still does the job, and it's not too noticeable when you wear it because they both have a gap. But again, that's something that I would just get self-critical about, being an ex-recovering perfectionist. I trialed this hat out this week, but as expected, because I made the brim so small, I still actually got quite sunburnt on my cheekbones and a little bit on my nose. I didn't get too bad, but I definitely won't be able to wear this hat unless I have sunscreen on my face. Thinking I might just redo this brim. I was a bit iffy about it since I did the double layer with the quilting, so I think I might get rid of the quilting and then just leave it and have it kind of floppy and weird like that. But I literally just have this one bit of fabric left over, which will be the perfect amount to just do one brim and use like the backing of the linen fabric. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start unpicking this and just kind of rejig the brim, because yeah, I'm not too happy with it at the moment. Surgery successful. This here is the old brim and this is the new one. And what I've ended up doing is I've taken out all of the wadding and all of the layers, and I've just left it floppy and soft that way, because pretty much as I expected. You can see here if I put it over the top, but when I was wearing this, it just didn't block out the sun very well. And you know, if it was just going to be like a fashionable hat, that's fine, but the whole purpose of this hat is to be like a garden hat, so I kind of really wanted to just redo it. I have tried so many different ways to get this brim to work and sit right. So first I used this like super stiff facing,
but it was still doing that thing like when the first time I tried it, and it kind of flopped over my face. So I've actually just ended up cutting up this plastic file I have, because I was thinking if I can just put some like perspex or something in there, it would still keep it soft but give it the stiffness of the shape. So this is what I have done, and fingers crossed third time is lucky, because I'm so sick of unpicking this and I kind of just want it done now. Like, I'm over this. Look at that, it is finally working. Oh my god, I swear to god, if this didn't work, I honestly had no idea what I was gonna do. But I have just basted it on, and this side is like super close to here. No, it's this side that's super close, and this side has like a massive gap, and I don't have those little like sewing clips that I see everyone use on like TikTok and stuff. So now I kind of have the nightmare job of trying to line this up without any pins or clips, because I can't pin through this. So I'm gonna take this off and try again. Hopefully I can get it in a second go. If not, it's just gonna be a bit of a nightmare finishing this hat now. Okay, and I am like literally so over this hat right now, so I think I'm just gonna finish it, this last little closing seam for the lining, to just do it by hand, because yeah, the machine is just not enjoying doing this. So the hat is finished now. I'm still unsure of it, but I think I'm just in that just finished it being very hypercritical phase. I definitely think that if I bought the proper hat brim, it would have worked out better. And I think I understand now, there's a reason why those brims are so stiff, to give it the shape and to just kind of help out the structure of the hat. Yeah, this is kind of what's going on. I mean, this is the first time I've ever made a hat, so yeah, I think it was a good attempt. And I've learned a lot about hats, but at the moment I'm kind of like, I think I want to leave the hat life over to professionals. People that want to make hats. I don't know if I still want to make hats, but I still have another 2 hat projects lined up. So maybe in the next one I might order the brim thing and give it a crack with a proper brim. So this is kind of like what it looks like on my head. I don't know what is going on with the shape, but it's just going in this weird angle, and it's really annoying for me, because if I wear it inside out like so, it literally like sits perfectly like a hat. So like how annoying is that? Just really annoying me. But yeah, it's looking a lot more like an actual cap now. And it looks like it will actually block the sun out of my face, which is good, which is what it's for. So I think I'm just like, sometimes you just have to call things a prototype to be okay with it. So this is prototype 1. I have 2 more plans to make hats this summer. So hopefully by the end of them, I will either 1, never want to make a hat ever again and be done with hats forever, or 2, hopefully have gained the proper skills and understanding. Now, I know I follow a few hat makers on Instagram, and they have different sewing machines that are like specifically for hats. So potentially as well, that is where my little downfall is happening. But I mean, it's not too bad for a full like flatbed machine just here in the background that I made this on. And actually now I'm like not hating it too much when I look at it from the side angles. So yeah, I think I'm just really in that sensitive, hypercritical phase of like, I've just finished it and I'm not sure, and I just need to put it away for a week, and then I'll probably really love this hat. It happens a lot to me. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this journey with me. We literally started from here. So this is a reminder of what the hat originally was. It's just this like yarn, this recycled cotton yarn that I wove into this fabric, and then we made this Legionnaires hat with. So it's been quite the journey, and I hope you guys enjoyed following the process with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next episode of Miso and Me. Bye bye.